Fleabag, I've been working out so damn hard at the gym over the past month. I got out of the shower this morning, looked in the mirror and went, ooh, look at my sexy body. And I was circling my nipples with my fingers, and that was kind of odd. You did it again, didn't you? We're rolling. We're recording. No, I didn't hear the pig whistle. Can we test it to make sure it's working, please? Yep, heard it that time. Selective hearing. All right, now don't start over. We're unedited, unfiltered, uninhibited. Plus, I think people like these bloopers when you catch me with my pants down. All right, I'm all tucked and ready when you are, sir. Let's go.
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
From Hollywood. Welcome to the Rat's Ass Podcast with Mojo Elliott.
Well, look who's back. You must be horny for more.
Oh, give us a rat's ass.
All right, from the Mojo studio on Sunset and Vine, surrounded by a bunch of strung-out freeloaders on the strip, here comes another sexually charged, action-packed adventure.
Let's do it.
All right, here's what's on tap on the wrap. I'm going to do some roasting of Sonny Hostin, and don't ask me because I don't give a gram. Nothing makes a Democrat drop a deuce more than hearing 4 more years of Trump. But I'll tell you how it could happen. And is Fox News losing its luster? Another round of head trauma is on the way. The burning question is coming up, plus our usual lunacy and loose behavior, including What Say You and Mojo's Fuggin' Funny. That's what's happening today on the Rat's Ass Podcast for Thursday, July 9th. Welcome, first-time listeners and old-time fiends. New round of radio wars is happening now on the Rat's Ass Podcast blog. WDRV Chicago versus WCSX Detroit. Oh, what a battle between two damn good classic rock stations here. I can't wait to see who wins. But it's up to you. You got to go vote. It was KLOS Los Angeles spanking WDVE in Pittsburgh last round. So go vote now at ratsasspodcast.com on the blog. I'd have to make a correction. I recently blasted season 5 of Hacks, saying that after 3 episodes, I thought it had lost its luster. It lost its edge. It was caca. Well, out of severe boredom, I decided to power on to see if I could catch a wave. And by episode 5, the show found its huevos. Episodes 5 through 10, solid series. So if you're a Hacks fan and I blew it for you, don't let me do that. Just kind of know that 5 through 10 is where you're going to catch that wave. Also, I'm still into The Pit. What a unique show. I know I'm late to the party on this one, as I said. But they do 15 episodes, and it's like one day in the emergency room. Each show is an hour. I think that is incredibly ingenious. So one episode just kind of leads to another one. It's just one day. But I caught an episode yesterday where they actually showed a lady popping a kid out of her whoopus.
Holy shit!
I am a changed man forever. And I never want to see that again. All right, let's get into the wrap here. By now, you've probably heard about The View's Sonny Hostin saying she fears for her safety in white neighborhoods. She fears for her safety in white neighborhoods that fly Old Glory. She associates the American flag with white supremacy. Now, I'm convinced Hostin is paid $1.6 million a year by ABC to sound like an ignorant dipshit. Okay, her job is to come up with the wildest crap and sell it to the sheep that watch The View. Now, I live in one of the top 25 cities to live in here in California. No brag, just fact. And my bubble is about 80% white, probably a little bit more, but I see black people who don't live here come here to shop. They eat at our restaurants. Some buy homes. Few belong to my gym. And I would say that they all feel as safe as the Gulf in Fort Knox. Now, as a white man, do you think I could go to Compton in South Central Los Angeles and go shopping? Eat out at all their fine dining restaurants, hang out at the gym with the brothers, and buy a home and live there? So when I hear Sonny Hostin saying she fears for her life in white neighborhoods, I'm going to call some major league bullshit on that. You see, Hostin has no problem taking a $1.6 million paycheck from the white man at ABC, now does she? Am I to believe that as long as a white man is delivering a paycheck, there is no chance of any white supremacy going on? Isn't it fun to watch the Democrats try to distance themselves from a Nazi pile of monkey shit like Graham Plattner? They got all behind this loser because they thought he'd beat Susan Collins and win a Maine Senate seat. That's all they cared about. And once again, the party that backed brain-dead Joe Biden and then tried to force Kamala Harris on us, they loved them some Eric Swalwell. Well, here they are backing another jagoff like Plattner, just to gain power. And now they're all scurrying like rats from a fire. So how much more convincing do you need, my fellow Americans? My fellow Americans, how much more do you need to be convinced to ditch these numbnuts? I mean, Jesus Christ, isn't it obvious yet they don't give a damn about you? They don't offer any ideas, no solutions to any problems, just gimmicks designed to pull the wool over your eyes so they can get more power. That's it. Now, we're starting to see a pattern with Democrats, okay? They back a piece of crap like Plattner, get voters all worked up emotionally so they'll vote for him, and last minute, news breaks that they elected a candidate that's a despicable human being, and then they get to install the candidate they really want to do their dirty work. And they're going to do this over and over again until you catch up to it and stop it at the ballot box. And if you're in a state where you have mail-in ballots, do I need to say it? There is some fraud going on. It's like the angry American said, mail-in ballot states have never benefited a Republican. This is what they're doing now. So again, we see Democrats blaming Republicans for destroying democracy while they're the ones attempting to do it. And every one of the Democrats that backed Plattner should resign in shame. But here's the problem. They're Democrats. They have no shame. Now, I thought about this one for about 20 seconds the other day, and it occurred to me our whole government system is completely bass-ackwards. The members of Congress and Senate should only be allowed to serve 6 years, and then they're gone. That cuts down on the fraud and the career politician. Now, the president, on the other hand, should be able to serve in 6-year increments instead of 4. And if we like them and they're effective, why should we be stepped out by term limits after 8 years? Shouldn't we be able to decide as long as they want to be president of the United States and we want them to be in office? Shouldn't we allow that to continue and say, God, the country's going great, but we got 2 morons we got to choose from this time. And see, that's real power to the people if we did that. Yeah. Be nice if we could make some changes in the rules before 2028 and get Trump for 4 more years. I hear deuces dropping all over D.C. right now. Yes, indeed. All right, word came out yesterday that Fox News, their ratings are down 5% from the same time last year. Now, naturally, the left was having a field day with this, as they should. Okay, this is war, battle between the networks. I love the fight. But here's the deal. Fox News has been kicking their ass for a while now, so that's why they're taking advantage of this news. But here's what's really happening. It's the same thing I dealt with when I ran news talk radio stations. In off-election years, our numbers always dropped because people wanted to get the hell away and escape from the politics until it was time to vote again. And the audience came running right back. So 5% is nothing. It's really nothing. Okay? They'll come back in the fall before the midterms, get caught up, make their votes, but the lefties will never tell you this. So you're welcome. All right, as you know, I like to surf the socials to find other interesting viewpoints besides my own. This is Ella Rasky laying out the penalties for crossing other countries' borders illegally on What Say You?
Singapore, 6 months in prison. Russia, 2 years in labor camp. India, 8 years in prison. Pakistan, 10 years in prison. North Korea, death penalty. USA, free housing, healthcare, education, food, transportation, phones, cash.
Ooh, that's a bingo.
You got you some education there, didn't you? Yeah.
I've never seen somebody so damn happy they don't have to talk about soccer.
You got that right.
Here's Mojo Elliott with his spin on sports on the Wrap.
Well, you're probably not a fan of the Cincinnati Reds, but I am. And my boys are sucking hind tit this season. It all started in preseason when two of their starting pitchers went on the IL, and then, after the first month, their closer and one of their top setup men went on the IL. Man, you don't have pitching, it sucks. And the season went south real quick. And that's what happens when you don't have depth at pitching, you see. But they went out last season, between last season and this season, followed the fans wanting more home runs, more guys who could hit the long ball. So they went out and got Sal Stewart, brought him up from AAA, and he's been fantastic. He's an all-star this year. Eugenio Suarez, who's been averaging over 40 home runs a year. J.J. Bleday, Nathaniel Lowe, Dane Myers. They should have easily added 1 to 2 runs per game over last year, but they're actually averaging 1 run less. So the pitching isn't getting a lot of run support. Now, some fans want them to be sellers at the trade deadline. And they might be. They've got 8 free agents, potential free agents at the end of this season. And some of them, they can go. But I would strongly advise against trading that core that they have. There's enough offensive talent there to win games, but it comes down to pitching. So if you want to trade some of these free agents, there's about 6 of them that I could say, boo-bye. Maybe you could load up that pitching staff a little bit, have some depth, have a couple of guys who can close. But because they've got one of the best balanced 1 through 5 starters in the National League, probably all of baseball right now. But they need to shore up the 8th inning, get a closer before next year. So I hope the Reds somewhat stand pat and keep that core that they've been going with and surround those guys with a little bit deeper pitching. But we'll see what happens here in the second half of the season. My Reds they're not going to win the division, but they might squeak out a playoff spot like they did last year, but they got to get on it. And that is my spin today on Sports on the Wrap.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Head trauma.
All right, who's up for the burning question? All you have to do is fill in the blank. You can certainly fill in the blank, can't you? All right, when it comes to body count, 83% of women say if a man has a body count of more than blank, he becomes undesirable. What's that number? When it comes to body count, 83% of women say if a man has a body count of more than blank, he becomes undesirable. All right, go muff yourself, and I'll have the answer for you coming up.
It's time for some loose behavior on the Rat's Ass Podcast.
All right, time to get loosey and goosey with the very chubby Ben Banks on Mojo's Fuggin' Funny.
I'm happy to be here. There's a lot of whites. And I like white people. You're not really allowed to say that. I mean, you guys can't say that at work. Can't go into work on Monday and go, you know what? White's probably the best. But I do. When I get to a white neighborhood, I go, oh, thank God. Oh, yeah, we took the wrong exit. It was bad. But you're not supposed to like white people because apparently white people are inherently racist. I don't think it makes you racist if you have your whole family in the car and you pull in the gas station, you go, not this one. And then you keep driving until you find a gas station with the ice on the outside.
Hey, heads up. Here comes your celebrity cheese.
All right, singer Bonnie Tyler, who gave us the hit Total Eclipse of the Heart, has died at the age of 75. You know, I met Bonnie once back in the late 80s, and I got to tell you, she was an extremely nice person with a very unique voice. We lost a good one, folks. And may she rest in peace. You know, I can't get over this headline. Taylor Swift forces Travis Kelce to sign a 40-page prenup. What'd she do? He's 6'5", 250 pounds. He's a tight end in the NFL, for crying out loud. Did she tie him to a bedpost, put a ball cock in his mouth, hand him a ballpoint pen, sit on his face, say, sign on the dotted line? But you know, if Tay-Tay did that, that was some 50 Shades of Grey nonsense right there. All right, Bunny XO. I'm sorry, I can't call her Bunny XO, okay? She's Jelly Roll's soon-to-be ex-wife, Alyssa Carter DeFord, okay? And yes, at one time she was an escort, and that's where the Bunny XO comes from, all right? But I have a problem calling a lady, hey, Bunny XO. Just can't do it. All right, anywho, she's wasting no time moving on from Jelly Roll. She was seen making out with a reality star. His name, Dylan Wolf, 24 years old enough to be her son. And this all took place at Jelly Roll's bar in Nashville, right in his face. Now, she does have a dedicated floor that's considered her bar, her place. We'll see who gets that in the divorce. But you know what? The way I see it, this calls for some Jelly Roll revenge. Okay? He needs to bend a hot server over a bar stool and give her a Tootsie Roll tickle.
That's just about enough of that.
All right, here's some Major League BS for you. Stephen Colbert, the canceled late-night TV talker who was actually just cut from CBS, saying you're too expensive and your ratings suck. Okay, he was nominated for 11 Emmy Awards. If that isn't proof the Emmys should be called the enemas because they're full of bullshit, I don't think anything does. All right, the Hamptons were hopping on the 4th of July weekend, and some of the paparazzi on hand claim they saw 51-year-old Leonardo DiCaprio on the prowl looking for some under 25-year-old tail. Now, I get a little freaked out when I hear stuff like this. I mean, if it's true, isn't Leo getting a little bit Leonardo DiCaprio, don't you think? And that is I Need a Shower Slice.
Who gives a rat's ass?
Celebrity cheese for you.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Email from our Gmail.
All right, this is where you send me your questions, comments, and observations to my producer, Fleabag, at ratsasspodcast@gmail.com, and anything goes. The more outrageous and salacious, the better, and it's impossible to offend me, so please, knock yourself out. All right, Demo H. Athens, Georgia said, hey, what's up with 7 of the past 8 people you've placed on your walk of shame being black and brown people? Are you turning racist on me, Mojo? Demo, because I'm an older white male, I'm already considered to be a racist, so I really don't give a rat's ass. But if 7 of the 8 past winners, or honorees we call them, are black and brown people, they did some stupid stuff to earn it. And the best way to stay off the walk of shame is not to do stupid shit, okay? Don't be a moron. Fleabag, do me a quick favor and do a tally on how many white versus black and brown people are on the walk of shame. I've never really paid attention to it. I'm kind of curious to see what those numbers are. Can you do that? All right, thank you, man. Just buzz me again with a pig whistle when you have it. All right, Ellen J., Lincoln, Nebraska. Okay, Mojo, man, I want to hear more about this joint checkbook, but all other finances are kept separate in a marriage scam. Okay, well, I had mentioned before that I think couples should have separate bedrooms, separate bathrooms, separate closets, okay? And I also mentioned last podcast, and also separate bank accounts. All right, my wife and I actually started this before we got married because we moved in together for a bit before we said our I do's. So what we did then to make it fair, we took the joint expenses, split them in half, and then what I made, I kept. What she made, she kept. And we just kept it that way. And we rarely, we've had disagreements about the joint account, sure, okay? But I guarantee you we've had fewer arguments about money than if we commingled everything. And by the way, separate credit cards, too. Oh, I'm going to get some more emails now. All right, Brock C., Boulder, Colorado. Hey, Mojo, I'm checking to see if you're still holding at 145 to buy SpaceX. Yes, I am, and I'm regretting it just a tad here this morning. I have a limit order in at 145, and I'll be damned if it got close yesterday. It was 145.20 on the day low. I missed it by 20 cents. And if it doesn't touch 145 again, I am going to be pissed. You can never call it. You can never get it right. And the thing is, though, at 145, all the stock has to do is hit 145 or a little bit less, and you're in. Okay? Then I would hang out and buy a second block of stocks if it dropped another 7%, and every 5% thereafter, I'd buy a few more and a few more because I think it's worth holding long term. But yeah, we got the 145.20 yesterday, and it started going back up. I think it closed around 148. But yeah, still, that's the hold, though. I will not edge it up a little bit like the 145.50, 140. No. I keep it at 145 because all it has to do is touch that number, and off we go. All right, but mainly I just want to get in, and if I can get a second block at 7%, oh, that would be sweet. All right, Rick S., Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm a blackjack dealer who's hanging out with this hot chick. She's fun too, but I have this real creepy vibe that she's been with a lot of guys. Should I trust my gut on this one and let her ride? I see what you did there, Rick. Blackjack dealer, let her ride. That's an interesting way to put it. You know what? There's nothing wrong with trusting your instincts on this. But as a rule of thumb, generally, when you do have sex, if you have to strap a board to your ass to keep yourself from falling in, probably a good chance she's been with a lot of guys. All right, Abby B., Camarillo, California, not too far away from me, about 25 miles. I've been sending ask me out signals to a guy I like, and he hasn't taken the bait so far, so I'm going to ask him out. What's the best way to do it so he'll say yes? Oh, you're looking for guarantees, are you? Well, okay. Find out what he likes to do. Does he like sports, going to movies, concerts? Then you want to just say, hey, I've got an extra ticket to go see this. And if he says, oh, yeah, I really like that. Yeah, I'll go with you. Okay. It's a nice, easy way that if he says no, you don't feel so damn rejected. And if he says yes, you're in like Flynn. Now, here's the key. Just don't buy the tickets unless he says yes. All right. That's all you got to do. All right. All right. Hey, Fleabag. Oh, okay. You got those numbers for me. All right. Text them over to me. Let's see what we're looking at here. You know, you could have texted those for me up front, by the way. Okay. Sorry, I'm riding your ass there. All right. So we got on the Rat's Ass Podcast, Walk of Shame on the blog, we've got 13 white people, 7 black, and 3 Hispanic. Okay. Demo, if that's being racist, then, buddy, please do me a favor. Get me a hood and a white sheet.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Head trauma.
All right, we're playing the burning question, where all you have to do is fill in the blank. When it comes to body count, 83% of women say if a man has a body count of more than blank, he becomes undesirable. All right, what'd you guess? Did you figure this out? Are you thinking like 25 is a good number? No, try 7.
Yeah, baby.
If that's what you said, congratulations, you got it right. But so there you have it, though, guys. The number is 7. If you go over 7, she's probably going to dump your ass, okay? So women have their standard 5 response, and now you have yours. 7. The number 7. All right, that's going to do it for me. I'm off to the DMV today to take some money because they want money from me. Are you ready for this? $212 to register a damn car in California. Damn thieves, man. But first, is this real or is it riffraff? Would you believe men are 5 times more to get struck by lightning than women? Alexa, is this real or is it riff-raff?
There is actually a gray area with this one.
Oh, really? How so?
If a woman hasn't been laid in a long time, she's more vulnerable to lightning strikes than a man who has.
Really? Well, I've heard, when a man is struck by lightning, he can actually make a woman light up and pay off in silver dollars.
My God, have you been watching One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest again?
What do you mean watching? I'm living in a cuckoo's nest right now.
Oh, fighting with a wife again, I see.
No, I mean hanging out with you and Fleabag here. My God.
Get the fuck out!
All right, welcome new Rat Nation members. Gregory Sebastian of Charlotte, North Carolina. Michael Reed of Destin, Florida. D.D. Henry of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Philip Reyes in Santa Fe, New Mexico. And around the world to Madrid, Spain, Salvador, Brazil, and Belo, Colombia. And Fleabag says these are all 3 new cities checking out the Rat's Ass Podcast. So we got to send them some. Yes. Welcome, Madrid, Salvador, and Belo to the Rat's Ass Podcast.
Now's your chance to be one of the few and the loud. Join Rat Nation at ratsasspodcast.com. Membership does have its rewards,
Oh, that's the wrong one, Fleabag. Yeah. Here we go. I need something mellow to take us out. That's a wrap for this episode of the Rat's Ass Podcast. Go to ratsasspodcast.com to visit our hub and listen to previous episodes. Read the blog. It's loaded with hot topicality, including Radio Wars. Watch Rat's Ass Podcasts, Rock TV. You can join the Mischief at Rat Nation and connect with us on the socials. Find out about the Mischief Pyramid, too. We'll do this again on Monday, July 13th. Take care of each other, and thanks for stopping by the Rat's Ass Podcast in partnership with the Oz Podcast Group.
The conversation continues between podcasts on X and ratsasspodcast.com. ratsasspodcast.com.